Section 13 of Tales of King Arthur and the Round Table. This is a LibriVox recording. All LibriVox recordings are in the public domain. For more information or to volunteer, please visit LibriVox.org. Recorded by Zames Curran. Tales of King Arthur and the Round Table by Andrew Lang. The Quest for the Holy Grail. An Adventure of Sir Lancelot. As Lancelot went his way through the forest, he met with many hermits who dwelt within, and had to venture with the knight who stole his horse and his helm, and got them back again. And he learned from one of the hermits that Sir Galahad was his son, and that it was he who at the feast of Pentecost had sat in the siege peerless, which it was ordained by Merlin that none should sit in save the best knight in the world. All that night Sir Lancelot abode with the hermit, and laid him to rest, a hair shirt always on his body, and it pricked him sorely, but he bore it meekly, and suffered the pain. When the day dawned, he bade the hermit farewell. As he rode, he came to a fair plain, in which was a great castle set about with tents and pavilions of divers hues. Here were full 500 knights riding on horseback, and those near the castle were mounted on black horses with black trappings, and they that were without were on white horses, and their trappings white. And the two sides fought together, and Sir Lancelot looked on. At last it seemed to him that the black knights nearest the castle fared the worst, so, as he ever took the part of the weaker, he rode up to help, and smote many of the white knights to the earth, and did marvellous deeds of arms. But always the white knights held round Sir Lancelot to tire him out, and as no man may endure forever, in the end Sir Lancelot waxed so faint of fighting that his arms would not lift themselves to deal a stroke. Then they took him, and they led them away into the forest, and made him alight from his horse and rest. And when he was taken, the fellowship of the castle were overcome for want of him. Never ere now was I at tournament or joust, but I had the best, moaned Sir Lancelot to himself, as soon as the knights had left him and he was alone. But now I am shamed, and I am persuaded that I am more sinful than ever I was. Sorrowfully he rode on till he passed a chapel, where stood a nun, who called to him, and asked him his name, and what he was seeking. So he told her who he was, and what had befallen him at the tournament, and the vision that had come to him in his sleep. "Ah, Lancelot," she said, "as long as you were a knight of the earthly knighthood, you were the most wonderful man in the world, and the most adventurous. But now, since you are among knights of heavenly adventures, if you were worsted at that tournament, it is no marvel. For the tournament was meant for a sign, and the earthly knights were they who were clothed in black in token of the sins of which they were not yet purged, and the white knights were they who had chosen the way of holiness, and in them the quest had already begun. Thus you beheld both the sinners and the good men, and when you saw the sinners overcome, you went to their help, as they were your fellows in boasting and pride of the world, and all that must be left in the quest. And that caused your misadventure. Now that I have warned you of your vainglory and your pride, beware of everlasting pain. For of all earthly knights I have pity of you, for I know well that among earthly sinful knights you are without peer." End of section 13.